Okay, so I just got done watching the Justice League Thrones of Atlantis or Throne of Atlantis, whatever, and it was okay. It wasn't like, damn, this is like what we need for Aquaman. Like, because one thing this movie did was not justice to like any of the characters. I feel like, it the beginning I thought was nice with the whole like Justice League kind of has a name, but they're not really a team. And it's how like Clark and Superman and like Wonder Woman have to like secret identities and stuff, and then like Cyborg is like having to cope with the feelings of like being a cyborg, and then that was nice, and I was liking that, and I thought they were gonna explore a lot of that in the movie, and then it kind of just turned over to Aquaman, which is fine. I totally get that this is an Aquaman movie, like it's supposed to be like introducing Aquaman, but like it wasn't a good introduction. For one thing, is the voice actor for Aquaman was like horrible. I don't even know. He wasn't that good. He sounded very. I don't. He just didn't. He sounded generic. He didn't sound like Aquaman would have. Aquaman, I think, should have had a little more deeper tone and a little more like. This is the way he talks. Like he talks like he's like a child. He's like, oh yeah, we should totally go to the place and like talk and stuff, and like that's how he talks. He's like, yeah, we should totally go to Atlantis. And I'm just like, come on, like you should be, I don't know, you should sound more like King, like I don't know, because like that's how he always talks in like every other thing he's in, but in this one he sounds more like a child, and it just kind of takes away from like who he is. And he actually did some pretty significant damage on the surface, which the thing is, like, I didn't know a whole lot about Aquaman's, like, I know about DC, like, heroes and villains and stuff, but, like, Aquaman's, like, one of those people that I don't really know much about, and I know, like, a little, some things and stuff, but, like, I knew about Black Manta, and I knew about the Mantis, but I didn't know who the Mantis was. And then it shows that it was his brother, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "That's the Mantis." I was like, "Damn, I didn't even know that." That was a for people who didn't know. That's a pretty good reveal, I think. But this whole movie, the one thing is like they underpowered every character. I feel like in this whole movie, because I'm just gonna go down the line here. We got the Flash, who was really slow in this movie. Like, even though he was moving like really fast, he was still really slow. Like, he literally couldn't get to like one point to the other, like punching a guy, and to do like anything, because like they would come in like he's fighting like Mantis or whatever, and like Mantis could like move and see like him moving across the screen. It's like, I can see you. Like, what do you? Like, he was moving way too slow, which bothered me. I also like. Let's just see here. We got Green Lantern. I feel like Green Lantern's cockiness was actually good, and actually he was probably the best, character, like in the whole movie. I felt like he's the one that kind of perked up things when stuff was kind of getting a little, oh, like you're just like, man, when this movie's gonna be over, like, his power, he didn't really use much of his powers. He just kind of flew around he just kind of flew around. He didn't really do much. So I do hope he kind of grows a little bit more as a character and actually, learns to actually do like hero work, because it seems like what he's doing is kind of just, he's being lazy and he just wants to like get girls' phone numbers. And then he kind of comes along with the Justice League. Like, I'm just like, come on, like Green Lantern, like you can do something. It might just be that's why Hal is, but come on, we all know Jon Stewart's the best. Captain Marvel. Oh, sorry, not Captain Marvel now. Shazam. He was okay. His character, again, he is a child, so that makes sense the way he acts. His power is actually like the thing is like we haven't really seen much Shazam in like anything like in the media except that like Shazam movie, which didn't show a lot of his power, but like him using the lightning and like riding the lightning stuff and like doing all that and like throwing everybody in there, and I was just like, damn, I was like, what the, and that was crazy. The one thing I didn't get was so Mantis can use lightning for his rod, you know, like he can. That's just how he can do it. Like, and then that's like Shazam's power is like lightning. But the thing is, when Mantis like threw the lightning down on Shazam, it like changed him back into a little boy. And the thing is, like, that shouldn't. It didn't really clarify if he changed back because he passed out, or if he changed back because the magic lightning that Mantis used. And if it was the magic lightning, that makes no sense, because the only way Shazam can turn back is if he says Shazam. So, or if he gets passed out, which would make sense if he was passed out. Which it seemed like he just got right back up after he like got saved by what was it? I think it was Superman or Green Lantern came. And that was just that was weird. Wonder Woman, she was okay. I felt like she was probably the most strongest out of the characters and actually like lived up to like who she is and like what she can do. And I didn't know she could. I'll get to this. I'll get to what I'm gonna say after I get past all these characters. Okay. Batman seemed like he seemed like a leader. He seemed like he was trying to take in charge, and that he was good. I felt like he could have done a little bit more. Could have done a little bit more investigating. I don't know. Show more like Batman investigating or stuff. Like he did like that one investigating. And he was like, "We need information." And I'm just like, okay. And then the Batman voice also, like the guy who voices Batman, he's better than Aquaman, but he's still kind of Like I wish we got the old Batman voice guy back. I forgot his name, sorry. But yeah. And last but not least, I think I got everybody. Oh yeah, Cyborg. Okay, so Cyborg. I was intrigued by him. Like I was just like, he has a story. This is good. His whole father thing, his whole being a cyborg, and then that whole girl like that he likes or whatever. And they kind of just shoved that under the rug until like the last 2 minutes, which I was just like, come on. I was like, you serious right now? Like it was pretty stupid. I felt like he did really good in the beginning, and they kind of shoved him off to the side. So, but I do think he's a good character, and actually like he's good. I think he's like one of the better ones in the Justice League right now, the way they're doing it, and shows off a lot of things. Like I feel like he can grow. Now I'm gonna get here on this whole Superman thing. I'm a big Superman fan, so I saved him for last. And this is it, man. They did a horrible job at portraying Superman in like every way in this movie. I feel like, except the Clark Kent, I guess. Okay, I'm just gonna start out here. Okay, Superman, he was dumbed down so much in this movie that he seemed like he was mentally ill. I was watching him. He didn't know anything. He was just like, "What's this? Oh, is that a picture? Oh, is that?" I was like, freaking do some orders. Like, he's the leader of the Justice League. He's the leader for a reason. Like, they don't have a definitive leader yet, but I'm just like, he should be more in a leader role, and he should know how to do stuff. He's super smart. That's just the thing. Superman's supposed to be super smart. Like, almost as smart as Batman. Not Batman is smarter, but like, Superman's supposed to be like darn close to that. And he didn't do anything. Like, except he was there to do punch. And I was just like, but Superman's more than just a punch guy. Like, you can do a lot more. I feel like they did dumb down his powers a lot. He didn't really, and that can be expected for like the animated Justice League movies. Because I feel like his super strength, he should have done a lot more, I think, with it. And with the whole like magic, like I get that he's invulnerable to magic and that, but I feel like he shouldn't have passed out by being hit once by magic. Like, it should have taken like a while. Like, there should have been more of a fight between him and Mantis. And that kind of just ended. And then I was just like, are you serious? That seemed really weird. He did use his heat vision a lot, which did like nothing to people. and I just don't know. Like, he didn't use a lot of his moves, and they really kind of just swept him off. But the thing is, I'm okay with them like dumbing his power down a little bit and like not using him a lot for situations, just because, you know, he can kind of end all situations, kinda. But to make him seem kind of like he's just the dumb brute of the group and doesn't really like know how to tell orders or know how to investigate properly, because he is a reporter and he is like super smart. Like, he knows everything in the whole universe, because like that's the whole thing of the fortress. That's all he learned. That's like his thing. I'm like, if you know Superman, you know that the Fortress of Solitude gave all his like literally like shoved all the information in the universe into his brain, and he researched it all. Like, he should know how to do stuff. And like, it's just it just that is, I'm going on a tangent, I'm sorry, but it just seems like he's just dumbing it down. I was like, he's serious. Like, it was really bad. Now I want to get into the thing here. Now the whole Atlantis thing, it was cool. I didn't know that. Okay, so we have Superman, we have Wonder Woman. Their powers are so varied a lot of the time in comics that you don't really know. Like, okay, you know his like default powers, you know like what they have, but you don't know like all the side stuff they got. So like, when Superman was like breathing underwater, like Superman and Wonder Woman both were breathing underwater, I didn't really know they could do that. Can they? Like, I can understand Superman maybe, but like Wonder Woman, are you serious? Like, I didn't know Wonder Woman can breathe underwater. I was like, oh, come on. Like, I don't know. Like, is that part of their power set? Like, I didn't know breathing underwater was kind of like their thing. Like, that seems so out of place. It was so weird. But then Shazam couldn't breathe underwater, and I was like, what the heck? I was like, why can't Shazam breathe underwater? But like Superman and Wonder Woman can. That like makes no sense. And and then Green Lantern could breathe underwater, but that makes sense because it gets the rain, which like puts like an aura around him. That makes sense. Everybody else has kind of seemed eh. The whole relationship between Arthur and I think her name's Hera, his like, you know, his wife in the comics, seemed very it was really forced, and it was really fast. And that's understandable for a DC movie, but also like, or animated movie, and it just didn't work. Hera was cool, and like, but the thing is, Arthur kind of ruined it. His dialogue, the way the guy spoke, just didn't really end well. It was all over the place. It was just no. Yeah, I feel like the thing is, they started out good with Aquaman. He was in the bar, and then like he fought like 10 guys, which was like really cool. Like, I'm not lying, like his Aquaman like fighting skills on the land was pretty cool. And that actually like, and I was like, this is the start of like showing how good he can be on land, because everybody thinks like he can like not do anything on land, which he actually has super strength, so that makes no sense, people. And he also is like he's like invulnerable to like most things. I don't know if he's invulnerable to the bullets, but he was invulnerable to that knife. It broke when it touched him, so when he like got stabbed and it broke. Yeah, I just think I feel like the villain story was pretty good, the way they made the villain kind of do all the same, but they kind of went a little long on the villain thing, like a lot of backstory and like a lot of things going on, and I was like, you could have like built up like the Justice League a little bit more. And it does seem like they're actually starting like a DC animated like shared universe. if that's what you like, it's kind of like the Marvel thing, because they're setting up different heroes. If you saw, they had Steel in the movie before he became Steel. It was the construction worker that hit the one the one fish warrior or whatever, like the Atlantean, like hit him with like the steel hammer or whatever, and then like Superman came and like saved them, and then like Steel looks up and he's like, cool. And I was like, oh man, that's when Steel's gonna like turn into like Superman, like robot Superman or whatever he is. Like, I'm just like, that was pretty cool. I didn't see any other heroes. I'd have to say there's a lot of voice acting stuff I'm talking about here. Like, I'm really picky about this stuff. Lois Lane's voice actors. I see where they were kind of going with it. It didn't work out. It did not fit because the way she was acting, the way the way they were portraying Lois, and the way the voice actor was like her voice, it didn't work. They were trying to go a little bit more Smallville. If you ever saw that TV show, they were really going Smallville on it. Like, if you listen to the way she was talking and the dialogue and the way like her mannerisms were going, it was actually pretty nice. But the voice actress, it didn't cut it. Like, she was no. She wasn't in the movie that long, but that was just something. Yeah. This movie was like, it was so weird. Like, the fight scenes were like all over the place. Like, you didn't know like a lot of things that were happening because like they kept doing like zoom in shots and you didn't really see like them doing much, because like even when the Flash was like running around, even though he's like running really slow for the Flash, I couldn't really see like what he was doing because they kept zooming in on like the Mantis and stuff, and I was like, why don't you like do like a pan out shot? Like, why don't you like pan out, show what's going on in this battle, and actually, you know, show something good? Because it seemed like every time, this is his name, like when you bring Atlanteans to the surface, this needs to look good. This doesn't need to look like we're in a freaking like stage battle, like freaking doing like a war reenactment. Like, I'm sorry, but like, if you saw, like, it looked like the Atlanteans were literally battling on like one street corner in Metropolis. Like, and I was just like, what the? They're trying to take over the world and they literally can't get past one street corner. Like, it was like, it literally like looked so stupid to me. Like, I was just like, well, come on, like, you could have put like more guards or something, like, or like, my God, like, it was pretty like horrible. Yeah, I gotta say, they're really like banking up on other Justice League movies like after this one, like this, like, because they got Steel now, like they're gonna, like, they introduced them in this movie. They also introduced the Watchtower. Like, they said like, I have plans for a Watchtower and everything, which is like cool. Hopefully they can do better storytelling, because I felt like Justice League, like the first one, that was like the one before this one, that was actually a continuation, was actually pretty good. I felt like it did a lot more, and it actually, you know, was a good introduction to the characters, and I feel like this one kind of just dumbed them down. Didn't really have good development. A lot of the characters seemed freaking stupid. Like, I was like, my Jesus, these characters are stupid. Like, you could have like wrote this so much better. Freaking get a better voice actor for Aquaman. Get a better voice actor for Batman, even though like the voice actor's like okay, but you could do better. Don't dumb down Superman. Like, it's okay to dumb down his powers. Don't dumb down him. Don't like put him in the side and like literally just like go like, hey Superman, you're just gonna stand over there in the corner. Like, I'm just like, what the Superman, do something, say something. Like, come on, you're the leader. It was ridiculous. It was pretty ridiculous. This is the thing. This is what I want them to do. I'm waiting for the war between the Amazonians and the Atlanteans, because that would be pretty cool, and I'm ready for it. Now, the one thing is Aquaman going to be able to fly? Because if you know, in like some parts of the comics, Aquaman can fly, and that'd be pretty sick. I don't know. I don't think he can, but I don't know. He hasn't really he doesn't really know all his powers yet, so it seems pretty cool. I feel like the whole Amazonian and Atlantean war could actually be pretty good story and actually show a lot more for Wonder Woman and actually show a lot more for Aquaman, which, you know, Wonder Woman is okay in this movie. Aquaman, not so much. Even though, like, the whole thing was, like, for Aquaman. And Aquaman kind of got the shaft. He didn't really get like nothing. It wasn't good. It was pretty ridiculous. I'm going on forever here. I'm like 20 minutes in. God damn. I also want to say like the backstory for Aquaman was pretty good. I felt like that was actually, you know, one of the high points of the movie. Everything else kind of yeah. The Atlantean city did not feel like a city at all. It felt like you didn't really see anything. That's the thing about Atlantis. They always show like Atlantis and like other things. They've done Atlantis in DCO movies and TV shows and whatnot, and it never seems like an actual like city. All you see is like the pan out of the city, and then you see a street. But the thing is, they cover it up because they're just like, hey, we're in the water element. We can save a whole bunch of budget by just like smirking it off like we're in the water. And I'm just like, it doesn't look like you're in a city at all. And there was only like one person in the city, which makes sense because they said why. There was like only one person in the city. And yeah, it never feels like a city to me. Like it always feels just like it feels like this is how I picture Atlantis, just from what they tell me in the movie, is that there's a throne room and then there's a street. Now, and then there's also like a farm, I guess, like a farming place where they like I guess where people pick like elk or something, and that's it. Like there's like the elk and stuff is like in the front, like the farm area. Then you have the street, and then in the back you have the throne room. That's how I picture it, and that's not how I want to picture it. Like I don't want to picture it like that. Like they need to just do something. Like I'm just like, what the fuck? Like it's crazy. Like I don't understand. Like you can do this so much better, DC. Like come on. Like your animated movies are pretty good, and you kind of just messed it up with this movie. Like go back to like your All-Star Superman days, and like your whole Justice League like Frontier movie days, and like actually make this good. And also bring in Martian Manhunter. Like bring in Martian Manhunter, because you've been I'm just saying, and this has been proven, that they have been giving him the shaft this whole time. They took him out in the New 52 of the whole being a founding member. He actually was like the best, like one of the best characters in the Justice League, and like actually helped out a lot. Like if you think about it, like he was the eyes and ears. He gave everybody telepathy so they could all talk to each other when they like in situations, so they didn't have to have the freaking intercoms or whatever in their ears. And they also could talk underwater. That's the whole thing. That's the whole, like how Superman and Wonder Woman can't breathe underwater. Like that's the whole thing, like the telepathy. He also had like he's like a mix of all superheroes, because like he can do a lot. He can shapeshift. He can like fire. Like can he do heat vision? I think he can do heat vision. He could also like touch stuff and like turn it to heat or something. I don't know. It's weird. He got so many powers. It's like I don't know like what's which. He can also turn invisible. I really like he's amazing. I don't know why they don't use him more. Like it's just like you have a great character, and maybe the next one will introduce him because he is a Martian, and they might introduce the whole Martian Brainiac storyline, which would be pretty cool, I think. And could bring it would. That would be kind of like the Frontier movie, like the first Frontier movie, but they could do it good again. Like they could, start over with it, because this is like the new shared universe. This is my predictions for like the future. I hope they do add more characters. It would be cool to see Green Arrow maybe, like show him. It is because I do like the Arrow show. Maybe have a Supergirl movie. They just had one, didn't they? They had a Supergirl movie, but that wasn't like a continue. That wasn't in the shared universe, because they only have 2 movies now in the shared universe. So I guess they could do like a. That's stupid. Like, why didn't it? This is all messed up. They messed it up. This is what they should have done. They should have just had like that, and they should have waited, done that after, had this whole Superman thing, Darkseid and all that. After the whole I don't know, like, so they have to introduce Supergirl again somehow, because it totally set up the whole Superman being alone thing, and like how he feels alone and stuff, and how he wants to meet somebody from his own like planet. So they could set up that Supergirl thing. You know what they could do? I just figured this out. They could totally set it up like this. Don't have Supergirl yet, but introduce Crypto the Superdog. That would be dank. I'm just saying. Like, oh my gosh. Crypto the Superdog. Right now. Putting my money on it. They're going to put him in there somehow. I know it. My gosh. I'm telling you, they need to do more Superman stuff. They need to do more Batman stuff. They like put more Batman and put more Superman. I don't care about Hal Jordan. Maybe if they had Jon Stewart in that. Like, Hal Jordan, Hal Jordan's okay. But you could have a lot more, like, business going on with, like, Jon Stewart. Like, freaking get Jon Stewart up in there, do all that stuff, that'd be nice. Wonder Woman, get the whole Amazonian Lantern War thing going on. Get a new voice actor for Aquaman. Do all that. Do some more Shazam stuff, I feel like. You need to have, like, another Shazam movie. Like, bring in Shazam, bring in Black Adam. Bring in also, like, who does he like? Like, I guess Cyborg. Bring in Cyborg in that movie as well, because, like, they have kind of like a friendship going on, so that'd be kind of cool. And yeah, do some more stuff with the Flash, because he barely had any lines in this movie, and it feels like he should have had more, because he is kind of like the talkative, fast-talking, cockety guy, and he kind of got shadowed by Green Lantern, who kind of is taking his place, which kind of just feels like, hey, you should kind of maybe do something with the Flash. Oh my gosh, like, damn, this movie was kind of bad. Not gonna lie. Anyways, that's my opinions on this whole movie. Good start, but everything else after probably like the 20-minute mark was kind of just, it was bad. It was bland. Dumbed down characters. That's all I gotta say. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.